as possibly bleak as this.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Box to Box. As you can see, this is going to be kind of a different episode. Tommy and Harry are out right now, so I hope you guys don't hate me too much, and I'm going to lead this episode. So if you guys haven't already, subscribe. We have TikTok, Instagram. We post all these on Spotify and Apple Music as well. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Bayern Munich's current season as well as their future outlook. Let's get right into it. The obvious things: Bayern Munich lost to Villarreal this Champions League tie. As a Bayern fan myself, I was pissed. I was literally so mad. Bayern just haven't had a great season. Up 9 points on Dortmund, but I think we've talked about this in other videos. It's like PSG winning League One. There are outliers where they don't win and the league is exciting, but really Bayern Munich should win the Bundesliga every single year, year in, year out. This year, Bayern lost 5-0 to Gladbach and they're out of the German Cup. They just lost to a 7th place Villarreal team in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Honestly, we just got outplayed, outcoached, and Villarreal made their chances when it counted. My first takeaway after the first leg was, Villarreal played a great game. They played at home. This can't happen to Bayern 2 times in a row. Then I saw the weekend game against Augsburg where we couldn't score, and the only reason we won was a late penalty kick, and we won 1-0. So really, this has been a different Bayern team than I've seen all year. We haven't been able to score. We've been letting up chances defensively. And honestly, the players just look disorganized. This really hasn't been that successful of a season for Bayern, even if and when they win the Bundesliga. And I really think it comes down to a few different reasons on why Bayern wasn't as successful this year as they have been in other years. Reason number one, this is Nagelsmann's first year. He's 33. He's never coached a team of Bayern's caliber. There are a lot of people that haven't coached a team of Bayern's caliber. I don't know if anyone else has done it at such a young age. A lot of times, as great of a coach as I think he is, he's younger than a lot of the players on the team. Lewandowski, Müller, Neuer, players like that, sometimes it's a weird dynamic, and I think that definitely played into a few different situations this year. I also think, and this was one of the biggest problems Bayern had, and has had with Hansi Flick in the past as well, is a lot of times the coaches and the upper management don't really agree on the team and what type of player they want to bring in. That was really the primary reason why Hansi Flick left, was because he didn't get along with the sporting director at Bayern and wasn't getting players that he wanted just due to Bayern Munich's transfer philosophy. But really, Nagelsmann was not given the adequate players to really succeed in the type of football that he wanted to play. At Leipzig, Nagelsmann really thrived with wingbacks. He played a back three. He loved Angelino getting up front. He provided a lot of offensive power, a lot of assists, things like that. And at Bayern, he wanted to replicate the same thing. He was just not given the same type of players that he had at Leipzig to really adequately execute his situation. He had better players at Bayern, but he didn't necessarily have the right type of player to play his formation, his roles, his tactics, things like that. On the right side, Bayern really doesn't have a right wing back. They have Buona Sarr, who hasn't played at all. Stanisic isn't really a right wing back. Pavard isn't really a right wing back. So really, a lot of the year he was stuck playing Serge Gnabry, Sané, Coman as wing backs, and that's really not their position. There are a lot of players that Bayern has really made moves for in the last 2 years that really haven't been up to par to what Bayern players should be. Malik Tillman, Nianzou, Tolisso, who has been there for a while but really hasn't broken into the Bayern squad quite yet. Stanisic, Omar Richards, Gnabry now kind of in a little bit of a slump. Are they going to go get an Antony? Are they going to go get an Nkunku? Same thing with Pavard. Are they going to go move him inside at center back, which is really his preferred position? And he's voiced these things to Nagelsmann and the squad. But they really don't have a right wing back. And I fully expect them to go out and get a Mazraoui or another right wing back this summer. Other players that are leaving: Sule is leaving. Mark Roca hasn't really panned out. Sabitzer has been kind of a disappointment, if I'm being honest. But really, it just all comes down to these players haven't panned out. Nagelsmann hasn't had his choice of player, and it takes time for a lot of these players and coaches to really get on the same page, even though it's been a full year. It's his first year. He's switching up style of play, And that really gets into my second reason on why Bayern really struggled this year. Reason number 2, Nagelsmann constantly changed formations, which changed roles for players, which changed tactics. And really, I think it was hard for Bayern to really get in a rhythm and perform consistently as well as they could. You know, a lot of times players played out of position. There'd be times where Gnabry's playing wing back, he's playing centrally, he's playing as a winger, sometimes he's playing up top. And I think it's really frustrating and difficult for a lot of these players to get into that rhythm, get into that chemistry with other players. Whether it was playing 3 in the back, if they're playing with wing backs, if they're playing 4 in the back. You know, Davies early on was really given the freedom to do whatever he wanted offensively. Though he created chances and he could really just run along that highway on the left side, it was really frustrating and it caused a lot of defensive problems for Bayern. Along with the inconsistency already within the team, there was also a lot of outside noise outside of Bayern. Obviously, Süle is going to be moving to Dortmund this year. Davies had some injury problems early on and then had COVID and had a heart problem. Now he's thankfully back and recovered from that. But Nagelsmann also had to deal with a ton of different contract talks. Lewandowski, Neuer, Muller, Gnabry, Coleman for a while was really contingent on if he's going to leave, is he not going to leave? And I know those talks got really heated. And of course, the 2 midfielders, Goretzka and Kimmich, are they going to stay? Are they going to go? There was a lot of just inconsistencies and a lot of times poor communication between the sides. Goretzka had some injury problems this year as well, which really forced Kimmich to play in a different position, in a different role, as well as Musiala playing in a more central midfielder role where he's really a winger or a central attacking midfielder. I think this year it really just didn't come together for Bayern. A lot of players playing out of position, not in the role they want to play, and even if they did play in that way, it would change by the next time they played. You know, it'd be a different squad or a different formation, and I understand trying different things out, trying different players, but it was really frustrating for a lot of players and really led to their downfall for them this year. The next thing that I really wanted to talk about that I hear a lot of Bayern fans talking about specifically is Lewandowski. Is he leaving? Is Neuer going to leave in the future? What's going to happen when Muller leaves? Well, I really think that I'm not worried about that as a Bayern fan. We've had these situations before with superstars like Lahm, Schweinsteiger, Robben, Ribéry, Toni Kroos. Those are the big names that really come to mind. And year in, year out, a team like Bayern, they've really built their team to be a machine and to be able to move on even without these key players. Now, I'm not saying Lewandowski isn't going to be a loss, but we've lost top players in the past. Before Lewandowski, we had Mandzukic. Before him, Miroslav Klose, Olic, Mario Gomez. You know, we had tons of players that are able to play that goal-scoring role. I remember when Ribéry and Robben were going to leave, who's going to step up? Bayern was able to lock down Kingsley Coman, Gnabry, Sané. I remember when players like Schweinsteiger, Toni Kroos, they're gone, they're no longer on Bayern. Who's going to fill the role for them? We had players like Goretzka or Van Bommel even earlier, before that whole time. Someone like Javi Martinez, Philipp Lahm, one of the best right backs of all time. He was really a joy to watch. He was, small but mighty, and in my opinion, one of the best right backs of all time. But who was going to replace him? Joshua Kimmich. He filled Philipp Lahm's position at the right back, and Pep Guardiola was actually the one that turned him into the CDM that he is today. So what I'm really impressed with Bayern is they're constantly looking forward. They might be successful now, but they want to do things now to ensure that they're successful in 3, 5, 10 years from now. And that all starts with the development of players very, very early on their team. It's a big reason why Bayern gives a lot of chances to certain players at their second league team. FC Bayern Munich too. It's why Davies wasn't a star when he came to Bayern, but they really took the time to develop him, to allow him to play with the second team, eventually the first team, and things like that. But man, that Villarreal game was tough. I was pretty frustrated, and I really just did not know what to think. Shout out Unai Emery though. Masterclass, outcoached us in every way, And really the team finished the chances that they had when they needed to. Now, I wanted to talk about, Lewandowski rumors and where I think he's going to go next year. I know he's been rumored with Real Madrid, teams like Barcelona. The way Benzema's playing, I think the Real Madrid rumors are just noise. Barcelona's a different story. If Barcelona get Lewandowski, they're serious contenders for the Champions League next year. And I know that sounds crazy, but I really do believe it. It really depends on how Xavi wants to play in the final third. Aubameyang's great, he's scored a ton of goals, but his hold-up play is awful. Lewandowski is not only able to score goals, but his hold-up play is actually really underrated in my opinion. Not the greatest year for Bayern Munich. I fully expect them to bounce back next year. This summer, they're going to have a lot of transfers. My guess, a lot of people coming in, but also a lot of people leaving, which I think is going to be mutually beneficial. Like I said, this is just a different type of episode. We're going to head back to the normal, regularly scheduled programming next week. Tommy, Harry, and I will be back, and we'll pump out another video for you guys. So get ready for that, and thanks so much for watching, guys.